All right, guys, I have some really horrific breaking news here for you. So, unfortunately, it looks like it's about to go down. Something very, very bad is about to unfold. So, a few things here. First of all, the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu was on Israeli TV the other day. This is last night, I believe. And he said the following, quote, "Your hour of freedom is near. It is happening now. 80% of the people of Iran despise the regime, just like Cyrus the Great freed the Jews. Now it is your time to be free. Rise up and make Iran great again." So the key part there is your hour of freedom is near. It is happening now. That sounds like it's already been decided and Trump is officially going to enter the war in the sense that you have U.S. planes bombing Iran, potentially U.S. boots on the ground. Here's another one for you. So Israeli News Channel 14 said, Trump is expected to sign a presidential order in the coming hours to join the war. Now, by the way, let's be clear, and I'll come back to this in a second. You can't decide we're going to go to war by executive order. That's not a thing. That's not how it works. Congress decides whether or not we go to war. What the U.S. government has been doing for a long time now is they've been stretching the interpretation of the authorization for use of military force that was used against Iraq in the war on terror. What they do is they just say, anybody we want to attack, they're a state sponsor of terror, therefore we get to attack them under the fucking early 2000s authorization for use of military force. In this context, that makes absolutely no sense. It's wildly illegal. It's wildly unconstitutional because Iran had nothing to do with 9/11, had nothing to do with the war on terror. Zero. So this would be immensely, immensely illegal if he were to do this. And by the way, this is like, you better impeach immediately. Right now, you do have some Congress people scrambling to basically try to block war with Iran through the Congress, through legislation. But we got to go a step further. If Trump actually has American planes in the air bombing Tehran, he's got to go. He's got to go. All debate put aside. I don't care about any dissent whatsoever. This is all systems go, full steam ahead. We absolutely need to make sure this guy is removed from office. Argue vociferously at the top of your lungs. This is unconstitutional. This is illegal. And more importantly, it's immoral. Because we all saw the chain of events. We all know Israel was the one that attacked Iran first. We all know who the aggressor is here. There is no plausible deniability that this is some sort of a defensive war. That is nonsense. All right, some more horrible indicators here. Trump orders the National Security Council to be prepared in the Situation Room. He literally left a G7 meeting early. Now, by the way, at that G7 meeting, they had a vote on should we de-escalate tensions in the Middle East. Trump was the lone dissenting voice. He said, no de-escalation. We want escalation. You literally had the other G7 countries looking at each other like, Jesus fucking Christ, what is going on here? So Trump was clear at the G7, we want escalation, not de-escalation. And then he left it early and told the National Security Council to be prepared in the Situation Room. Well, as you all know, when they're ready in the Situation Room, shit's going down, y'all. Shit's going down. So more. All military bases in the U.S. Indo-Pacific have raised their force protection condition from Alpha to Bravo. So in other words, they're saying higher level of alert because some shit's going down and there might be some retaliatory strikes. So everybody be prepared. That's what that means. All right. We also have B-1B Lancer bomber in the air over the Dakotas. This bomber can carry 75,000 tons pounds, of cruise missiles and conventional ordnance. One of the most lethal non-nuclear platforms in the U.S. Air Force. So there's a lot of movement right now with U.S. weapons, with U.S. artillery. It looks like it's all being prepared. We have radar data shows multiple U.S. military aerial refueling aircraft heading to the Middle East, escorting fighter jets. So U.S. fighter jets are being sent to the Middle East right now. It looks like Trump has made the decision. We're going to illegally and unconstitutionally get directly involved in war with Iran, not in the sense of, oh, we're just arming Israel and we're funding Israel and they're helping them with shooting down Iranian missiles that are about to land in Israel. No, this is U.S. fighter jets in the air bombing Tehran, a city of over 10 million people. Okay, I have more for you. Remember, Trump said the other day, we talked about this in a breaking news segment, he said, the people of Tehran should evacuate. By the way, the traffic there is fucking horrible. It was 2 o'clock in the morning there when he said that. People were desperately trying to leave. The traffic jams were ridiculous, but now there's a fuel shortage there, so people can't get gas in their cars to leave because Israel bombed the gas they have there. And so now people are just stuck, and it's fucking hell on earth, and they're trying to escape and save their lives. And this is all because our psychotic president decided at 2 a.m. their time to tell everybody to evacuate Tehran because he's going to do an illegal and offensive and aggressive military strike against a city of over 10 million people. Canada is now urging all of its citizens in Iran to immediately leave and go to either Turkey or Armenia. We have the Chinese embassy evacuates personnel in Tehran. So you have all these countries making all these moves because the word is out behind the scenes. Shit is about to go down. We also have Trump is asked about Tulsi Gabbard testifying, and this happened just recently, that Iran is not building a nuclear weapon. Here's what he said in response to that. You ready? Quote, "I don't care what she said. I think they were very close to having one." He says what he now wants is Iran, quote, "giving up entirely, surrender. I'm not too much in a mood to negotiate." Oh my God. So he's told his director of national intelligence and his own intelligence agencies have concluded beyond any reasonable doubt, Iran is not building a nuke. And he goes, "I don't care. I say they're about to have a nuke. So I'm not in the mood to negotiate. Now I need total surrender from them." What does that even mean? If they're not building a nuke, which they're not, isn't that effectively, in a sense, total surrender? Isn't that what you want? And you're still going to attack them? The fact of the matter is, we are the baddies. Israel has always wanted this war. The U.S. has always wanted this war. They want regime change. That's the goal. Make no ifs, ands, or buts about it. But I'm still not done yet. So ready for this? Buckle up for this one, y'all. So Trump posted a message from Ambassador Mike Huckabee. Now, I've warned you guys about Mike Huckabee for a long time. This is a guy who ran for president a few times. He literally said, we should replace the Constitution with the Bible. He is a complete fundamentalist, evangelical Christian psycho. So he texted Trump and said the following, and Trump shared this publicly as if it was like a flex. "Mr. President, God spared you in Butler, Pennsylvania to be the most consequential president in a century, maybe ever. The decisions on your shoulders I would not want to be made by anyone else. You have many voices speaking to you, sir, but there is only one voice that matters. His voice, talking about God. I am your appointed servant in this land and am available for you, but I do not try to get in your presence often because I trust your instincts. No president in my lifetime has been in a position like yours. Not since Truman in 1940. Sorry for that. I had to go to another slide and it was like in a weird place. Not since Truman in 1945. Which, by the way, not since Truman in 1945. What did Truman do? Look up which president dropped the atomic bomb, nuclear weapons, on Japan. That's what Truman did. Oh my God. I don't reach out to persuade you, only to encourage you. I believe you will hear from heaven, and that voice is far more important than mine or anyone else's. You sent me to Israel to be your eyes, ears, and voice, and to make sure our flag flies above our embassy. My job is to be the last one to leave. I will not abandon this post. Our flag will not come down. You did not seek this moment. This moment sought you. It is my honor to serve you." So now there's a lot of speculation now, guys, and I think this is true based on the fact that Trump shared that and wasn't embarrassed by it. I think that Trump really buys this idea that God spared him to be this messianic figure. And remember, Mike Huckabee, the reason he's so excited is because he genuinely believes that Trump is about to usher in end times, where Jesus rides down on a winged horse, kills most of the Jews, saves some of the Jews, but then we all go up to heaven in this glorious end of the world moment. It's literally celebrating the idea of the end of life on earth and moving into the kingdom of heaven. And in order for that to happen, Israel needs to have all the land in the Middle East, not just the area they have now. This is what this guy's goal is. This is why he supports Israel doing a genocide in Gaza and stealing all of the West Bank and warmongering with everybody else, because he thinks it's fulfilling biblical prophecy the more land Israel takes. Oh my God, bro. Oh my God. I'm still not done. So we also had, Trump said the following. Because Emmanuel Macron said, oh, the reason Trump left the G7 early is because he has to go work on diplomacy vis-a-vis Israel and Iran, right? So that, in a sense, was Macron like trying to cover for Trump. But guess what? Here's what Trump said back. Publicity-seeking President Emmanuel Macron of France mistakenly said that I left the G7 summit in Canada to go back to D.C. to work on a ceasefire between Israel and Iran. Wrong. He has no idea why I am now on my way to Washington, but it certainly has nothing to do with a ceasefire. Much bigger than that. Whether purposely or not, Emmanuel always gets it wrong. Stay tuned. We are literally at the point where homie is tweeting comic book villain shit. Okay, we have another one. Trump said this. Pay very close attention to the language he uses here. Quote, we now have complete and total control of the skies over Iran. Iran had good sky trackers and other defensive equipment, and plenty of it, but it doesn't compare to American-made, conceived, and manufactured stuff. Nobody does it better than the good old USA. He literally said, we now have complete and total control of the skies over Iran. In other words, yes, this is my war. This is our war. I'm steering this ship, bitch. Oh my God. And then finally, Trump just tweeted, all caps with an exclamation point, unconditional surrender. Saying to Iran, you need to unconditionally surrender, which, as I pointed out, in a sense they did, because they don't have a nuclear weapon. They're not trying to get a nuclear weapon. They're not starting shit with anybody in the region. Israel is the one starting shit. The U.S. are the ones starting shit. But he still says unconditional surrender. They are trying to do regime change. The goal is get the son of the Shah back in power, who has zero popular support in Iran, by the way, zero, or just make Iran a failed state like Libya. That's the goal. That's what they're doing here. And something very, very horrible is about to go down. Very horrible. I don't know the exact nature of the attack, but they're very clearly going to attack. I don't know if it's going to be just air power and level blocks and blocks in Tehran, but it looks like that's definitely on the table. The scary part is even now, nukes are not off the table. The way this guy's talking with the Messianic bullshit and sharing that thing that Huckabee sent to him, this is a very, very, very dark moment that we're talking about here, y'all. We are witnessing it again, except a war with Iran would dwarf the war with Iraq. Trillions of dollars wasted. Thousands of U.S. soldiers' lives. Hundreds of thousands of innocent Iraqis. Millions of refugees. That was Iraq. Well, guess what? Iraq was a smaller country and a less powerful country. Now we're talking about a country of 90 million people, over 10 million living in Tehran, and they are broadcasting to the world, we're about to go ham and ruin millions of lives by bombing this beautiful ancient city. I never want to hear it ever again from anybody who was part of MAGA. Don't say you weren't warned. I fucking warned you. I couldn't have been any more clear. I screamed it from the top of my lungs. I said, the guy's a fucking warmonger. Yes, he speaks out of both sides of his mouth on the campaign trail. He says pro-war shit. He says anti-war shit. But look at his record. His record is what matters. And this is the same guy that increased drone strikes over 400%, bombed Somalia, bombed Syria, ripped up the Iran agreement, illegally murdered Qasem Soleimani, gave Israel the Golan Heights, and the list goes on and on. And all the MAGA people swatted that shit aside and said, nah, I think he's anti-war. Well, fell for it again award, bitch. Fell for it again, because now we are in the worst case scenario. So, as I said, something very, very bad is about to go down, and it is absolutely terrifying, and there's not much else to say about it. I wish there was something we could all do to pump the brakes on this. I wish there was something we could do to, flip the script here, but this is world historic, evil, demonic shit coming from Israel and Washington, D.C. That's what it is.